connection between the battery and the electric axle drive. The high-efficiency lithium-ion battery supplies energy to the unit for electric drive only. The battery can be loaded externally using a charger. Braking action releases a lot of energy. The cooperative regenerative braking system from Bosch ensures that as much braking energy as possible is recuperated to charge the battery. The range extender is a small combustion engine with a generator that supplies energy for electric drive when the battery is empty. The range capability of this electric vehicle with range extender is enough to cover average daily mobility requirements. Thus, the range extender offers a virtual mobility guarantee. When, after some 80 kilometers, the battery runs down, the range extender jumps in to recharge it on board until you reach the next battery charging station. Compared to a conventional internal combustion engine, an electric vehicle with range extender cuts fuel consumption and CO2 output by an average of 90%. With the dense network of battery charging stations, an entirely electric vehicle that consumes no fuel and emits no CO2 will become a reality. We no longer need the range extender because this system has a purely electric range of around 200 kilometers. Right, off we go. Thanks to technological progress and an extended infrastructure with a dense network of battery charging stations, electric-only vehicles will quickly increase their market share. Such vehicles are a milestone on the road to fossil fuel independence. They run exclusively on electrical energy with no CO2 output at all. As a system supplier, we at Bosch traditionally think of the vehicle as a composite whole. The same goes for the combustion engine and, of course, for powertrain electrification as well. Though we're familiar with the route, or precisely because of that, we are well aware of the great challenges to be mastered in the coming years. And we're ready for them with technology invented for life by Bosch.
Bosch. Invented for life.
Welcome to the Bosch Virtual Driving Center. Here we use computer simulations of a wide variety of driving situations in order to continually advance automotive technology. One of these improvements is the start-stop system. This system helps to reduce emissions, save on fuel, and lower the level of CO2 output. But let's see how this works in practice. Urban driving situations often involve a lot of stop-and-go traffic and waiting at traffic lights. Meanwhile, the engine is still running, using up fuel and producing emissions. And this is precisely where the start-stop system comes in. It consists of a modified starter motor, the start-stop starter motor, and an adapted engine control system that processes various sensor signals. Here's a typical traffic light situation. The driver takes his foot off the accelerator and brakes. The vehicle comes to a halt, and the driver puts it into neutral. The system checks whether the engine is idle and no gear is engaged. The wheel speed sensor in the anti-blocking system is showing 0. And the electronic battery sensor is signaling enough power for the next start. Now the engine is automatically stopped. As soon as the light turns green and the driver presses the clutch, the starter motor gets the signal to start the engine, and the engine starts quickly and reliably. As the gear is engaged and the accelerator is pressed, the driver can move away without delay and perfectly reliably. The start-stop system helps to lower emissions, save fuel, and reduce CO2 output. It also gives you a quick, reliable start every time.
Bosch. Invented for life.
Alternative engine concepts enable us to achieve an even greater independence from fossil fuels with lower pollutant emissions and a reduction in CO2 output of up to 33% as well. One of these systems is the Motronic for flex fuel engines. Equipped with this system, gasoline engine-driven vehicles can also be run on the alternative fuel ethanol, reducing dependency on gasoline. The Motronic automatically adapts to suit various ethanol-gasoline mixtures. The high knock resistance of ethanol allows turbo engines to achieve higher performance yields. Ethanol operation requires more fuel, a need that is accommodated by special control unit software and component adaptations. The components are derived from conventional gasoline components. In adapting fuel pumps and injectors, we also took into account the resistance to ethanol and the water ratio that is a factor with E100. The specific characteristics of ethanol can negatively affect combustion at low temperatures to such a degree that cold starting and drivability are impaired. The Flex Start system from Bosch gives the driver the cold start capability and drivability of gasoline with no need to forego the use of renewable fuels. Flex fuel engines play an especially important role in Brazil, where Bosch is already one of the leading providers of flex fuel systems. But in other markets as well, flex fuel engines are an increasingly significant factor in meeting ever more stringent ecological and economic requirements.
Bosch. Invented for life.
In the face of dwindling natural resources and increasing burdens on the environment, alternative fuels are becoming viable energy sources for the future. With modern engine concepts, Bosch is helping to use these resources, thus minimize pollutants. Biofuel vehicles are capable of powering their gasoline engines with gasoline as well as natural gas. Natural gas, with its low-level emissions, has great potential. Compared to gasoline, natural gas combustion produces 25% less carbon dioxide. In addition, natural gas has further potential for reducing untreated emissions. The exhaust produced is odorless and contains no particles whatsoever. The high knock resistance of natural gas enables it to optimize the engine in other ways. It's ideally suited to exhaust gas turbocharging, for example. That means that more effective downsizing concepts can be realized. Both operating modes are regulated by a single control unit, the NG Motronic. Unnoticed by the driver, during the drive, the biofuel system can switch over from natural gas to gasoline without a change in torque output. With its biofuel systems, Bosch is making a contribution to reducing CO2 emissions while improving its delivery of high performance to the roads.
Bosch. Invented for life.